Well, what's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller. Oh boy, I didn't think I was going to say this ever again on here. Even though we're going to do the Raw reunion, which I thought was a terrible show overall, in my opinion. But welcome everyone to the WWE RAW review. This was the show from September 30th, 2019. This featured their so-called season premiere. You know, whatever. But the reason why it's called the season premiere for their Monday Night Raw is because a new logo, a new stage, new Raw intro, new Raw theme, and the return of Pyros, and it's a new era. How many times they've said that too? Every time when something like this happens, it's a new era. And how many times they kept saying, the season premiere on this Monday Night Raw. But I digress. But it is what it is, I guess. But they were in Phoenix, Arizona. Your commentators were Vic Joseph, Dio Madden, and WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. So no more Michael Cole and Corey Graves and Renee Young on commentary for Raw. And yeah, nothing to say about that. Vic Joseph was good. Jerry King Lawler, he's Jerry King Lawler, And Dio Madden, he didn't bring the passion that he brought from 205 Live, which I thought he would do that on here, but he didn't showcase much there. But same time, he's new on routines to do Raw commentary, so basically the pressure is hopefully the pressure doesn't get too much in the way, but we'll see how that turns out. But so basically the Raw introduction, we're to the Raw intro, the video of it as well. Basically, I had different feelings of it, and I also had different feelings of it when it pertains to Skillet, which the song from Skillet, Legendary, was the official Raw theme, and don't know, I really can't get used to it fitting in with the Monday Night Raw theme, but and as far as the stage, I saw the stage, how it looked. It looked like it was a giant skateboard ramp. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. Pyros was good though. So the opening show was Rey Mysterio Jr. He comes out. He's wearing his jacket, basically in street clothes. And I noticed that Rey Mysterio Jr. Where Jason was wearing the jacket, is obviously a custom made. The sleeves looked nice with his name written on it. And I think one of them also said Eddie Guerrero as well. I'm assuming. I could be wrong, but don't quote me on that. But pertains to that, the back of his jacket shows, the outfit that Rey Mysterio Jr. wore at WCW Halloween Havoc '97 against Eddie Guerrero with his wrestling tights that he wore at Halloween Havoc '97. It pertains to facing each other for the for the WCW, Cruiserweight Championship, when at the time we were in WCW, the Cruiserweight Championship title meant something, and it was more prestigious than it ever was at the time, and also it was a great match on the pay-per-view, especially when it pertains to mask versus title, with Mysterio's mask on the line versus Eddie Guerrero's Cruiserweight title on the line. But that's not a hero there. But also his luchador mask. It was the design and colors of it was influenced from Phantasma. El Haji del Phantasma, who is formerly known as King Koino from Joe Underground, And now he's gonna be coming to WWE. He's signed with WWE. He's at the Performance Center, and he'll be making his debut pretty soon on NXT. When it's gonna happen, I don't know. But we're potentially him being part of WWE now. He's not gonna be wearing the luchador mask because in AAA, Phantasmo lost his luchador mask. I believe it was about, I think it was last year, if I recall. I think it was at Triple Mania, if I'm not mistaken. Speaking of Triple Mania, I need to do some reviews where it pertains to Triple Mania from this from past tense and all that. But hopefully we'll get to that. Where it pertains to vintage reviews, but we'll see. But anyways, so yeah, when Rey Mysterio Jr. is in the ring, he's got his son Dominic at ringside. Well, in the front row seat basically. As Rey Mysterio Jr. says that he's going to face the Universal Champion Seth Rollins because he won that match to earn his opportunity to face the Universal Champion Seth Rollins before Hell in a Cell. Oh yeah, also what pertains to Hell in a Cell, this is also the Go Home Show edition for Hell in a Cell. That's what pertains to that Raw. Besides being the season premiere, But Rey Mysterio Jr. said to his son that he's going to win the title for his family and for also for Dominic, and he's going to bring it back home. All of a sudden, we hear Brock Lesnar coming out. Now I knew Brock Lesnar was advertised to be there, but I had no idea that Brock Lesnar was going to come out here to confront Rey Mysterio Jr. And as he's coming out there, he's got Paul Heyman there, and also Brock Lesnar comes out, does his his thing on the stage. Does this, pyro goes off, awesome. I noticed one thing: Rey Mysterio Jr. had his pyro. When he did his entrance, but whatever, right? So basically, the gist of it is, basically Mysterio tried to talk, but Brock takes the microwave, gives it to Paul. Paul Heyman tries to talk. Mysterio snatches his back. Brock Lesnar takes offense of that. Mysterio tries to talk. Basically, he was talking in Spanish. Lesnar gets him the F5. Not once, but twice. And Rey Mysterio Jr. sold it pretty well. All of a sudden, he sees Dominic. And I say to myself, he's not going to do this. He's not going to do this to Dominic. Sure enough, he goes to confront Dominic. Dominic sits right back down. Brock Lesnar acts like he was not going to do anything to Dominic. All of a sudden, he grabs Dominic and yanks him over the barricade, slamming him on the floor, picks him up into the ring post, brings him into the ring. Basically, the way he put him in the ring, like he's trying to kill him, like just toss him in the ring. Gets him in the German suplex, and Dominic sold it pretty well. He even took it very well, because for those who don't know, Dominic has been training to become a wrestler, and this ain't his first time taking bumps in wrestling. He took a bump before back in Lucha Underground against Johnny Mundo, aka John B. Trash. But pretty soon he'll be called John Morrison. But I digress. So Rey Mysterio Jr. try to help, but to no avail. Brock Lesnar just basically destroys Mysterio and most likely destroys Dominic. Paul Heyman tried to calm down the Beast, and the Beast was couldn't be tamed. We get securities. Referees. We got some agents to try to break it up and everything. Finley was one of the agents, and Brock Lesnar kept on attacking. Basically, he means business, and Kofi Kingston better watch it. Basically, in the way. Oh my god! But yeah, it was. And as I was watching this whole beatdown on Dominic, it was hard for me to watch. Oh man, it was so difficult for me to watch Dominic getting his ass kicked like that. And then the end is Brock Lesnar grabs Dominic and tosses him out of the ring in a rough way. Like, okay, Brock, enough. Take it easy on the kid. And also, Jerry King Lawler said, "Come on, he's a teenager." So, according to Jerry King Lawler, 22-year-olds are considered teenagers. Dominic is old enough to drink. So, no, he's not a teenager. But he kept saying that too, by the way. He's a teenager. He's just a teenager. Come on. Whatever. And that was basically it. I thought the opening segment was good though. Pertains to Brock Lesnar attacking Mysterio and then attacking Dominic. That caught me off guard there. I had no idea that was gonna happen. So that was a good way to start off on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw, right? Sorry about that. So yes, Suplex City, bitch. Just saying. So let me continue on. Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. And then we get the man, the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, coming out on commentary. She got her pyro back, worked into the smoke. About Alexa Bliss, I meant to say. Alexa Bliss got her pyro. Really? Whatever. So the match happens between Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. This is the match that they have been up 4 weeks. And then it ends with Sasha Banks pointing at the direction where Alexa Bliss fell for it. She kicks her in the shin, goes for a roll up, and Alexa Bliss gets pinned. And your winner, Sasha Banks, in a lame ass finish in a lame ass match. Yeah. After the match, Becky Lynch runs down to attack Sasha Banks. They start fighting. Also, when Sasha Banks bails out, goes into the crowd. Becky Lynch grabs her mic and says, "You made this personal. You can run all you want, but once we get to Hell in a Cell this Sunday, there won't be any running, there won't be any hiding, and there you go. She'll see her Sunday." So, anyways, now we get to the Raw Tag Team Championship match. We got Heavy Machinery, Otis and Dosovish. Otis and Tucker, excuse me. Versus the Raw Tag Team Champions, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And this match was good. I enjoyed this match for what it was. And then in the end, basically, I knew beforehand that Heavy Machinery, they wasn't going to win this match. But I gotta say one thing: Otis Dosovish, Otis, he was over with the crowds, obviously. And as for Tucker, he was pretty damn good in the match. But if anyone's has the most favorite of Heavy Machinery, the fans looks at Otis as their favorites. The eyes-on favorites. But in the end, it was Roode and Ziggler winning after Roode goes for the glorious DDT onto Tucker to get the win, and still. Raw Tag Team Champions Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. We get to, wait, folks! I forgot to mention something. Where is that? Where is that promo? I forgot to mention this promo, folks. I apologize. Alright, let me see. Where is it? I thought it was here somewhere. Because it happened before we got to Miz TV, where it pertains to Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. Oh yeah, here it is. So I'm trying to remember if this is the one. Nope, actually no, it's not. Now I realize it. No, it's not. Where is it? I thought it was here somewhere. Well, for some reason it's not there, but I'll bring it up anyways. So, Seth Rollins was being interviewed by Troy Caruso, and Seth Rollins basically cuts Troy Caruso off, where pertains to talking about the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, where pertains to what happened the week prior. And Seth Rollins basically said he doesn't want to talk about the Fiend, doesn't want to talk about him facing him at Hell in a Cell. And I got vibes of where Seth Rollins said that from last year, where it pertains to Seth Rollins said he doesn't care about Shinsuke Nakamura. All he cares about is his beef with Dean Ambrose, you know. And he did it here again with the Fiend. Basically, he wanted to say what happened with Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominic was uncalled for. It was pathetic. It was basically a coward way of Brock Lesnar to over pertains to his actions and everything. And I said, okay, so why did you go out there to help him then? Because think about it. Rey Mysterio Jr. was supposed to be the opponent against Seth Rollins in the main event of Monday Night Raw. And Seth Rollins, to protect his main event match with Rey Mysterio Jr., he decided to not go out there and not help. So that made why even have Seth Rollins say that? That you just made Seth Rollins look stupid there, and make him look like a weak champion because he's supposed to be defending his title against Rey Mysterio Jr. and he's now he can't do it. He can't do it now because Rey Mysterio Jr. Left with Dominic to take him to the hospital, or medical facility. So then Seth Rollins says, if anyone wants to step up to him in the main event, step up to me and I'll defend my Universal title and all that, blah blah blah. And then he says, and I'll see Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, at Hell in a Cell. He is the worst Universal Champion ever. Worst champion in history, to say the least. And then we get to The Miz. The Miz talks about, Miz, welcome to, first he says to everyone to welcome to Miz TV and everything. And then he says before we get to Miz TV, he wants to wish Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominic Mysterio. He literally said that. Rey Mysterio and, basically saying Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Basically saying, Dominic Mysterio. So that's going to be Dominic Mysterio's name in WWE. Okay. But basically, he takes exception to what Brock Lesnar did to Rey Mysterio Jr. and his kid, and he said, if anyone wanted to do that to my kids, I would have done something about it. I would have done something about it too, just like Rey Mysterio Jr. did. But again, the whole situation with Seth Rollins and The Miz felt that way. Why couldn't they go out there to stop Brock Lesnar? Whatever. So basically, The Miz brings out his two guesses. First, he brings out the WWE Hall of Famer, two-time WWE Hall of Famer, and on the Teletron it said he's a 17-time champion, world champion, Ric Flair. Even though that for years they've been calling him the 16-time, but now they decided to put 17-time. Maybe they're referencing about what happened from 2003, where after Ric Flair and Triple H had their main event match from Raw and then went off the air, and then they celebrate Ric Flair's career, and then they give him the world belt and say he's a 17-time champion, even though he's won about 21 or 22 times world championship titles in his professional wrestling career. But we're gonna ignore that, right? But yeah, that was a botch there by someone saying that he's a 17-time world champion. Dummies. And then we get the mouth at the top, Jimmy Hart, who brings out who's a Hall of Famer, who also brings out another Hall of Famer in Hulk Hogan. So they come out there and they start doing their thing. Ric Flair does his thing with him being the Nature Boy, being the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and for Hulk Hogan being Hulk Hogan, what pertains to what pertains to the Eagles, with Ric Flair, the limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun. Woo! And then with Hulk Hogan, well, let me tell you something, burn with my 24-inch pythons, butter. And they're about to fight too, no, right? And the crowd were loving this too, by the way. They were loving it, and then they were loving it so much that they chanted one more match. And I see myself, no, not one more match. And then The Miz says, well, I got news for you guys. After the crowd saying all this and everything. Because after watching all this, I said, okay, it's fun nostalgia and everything. It's great, but why were they there? And sure enough, we get to the Miz talking about this because the Miz says at Crown Jewel, oh, here we go, blood money, Saudi money, blood money, Saudi money, blood Saudi money. That's meant to say, blood Saudi money. That's what it is. So they're gonna do Crown Jewel over there at Saudi Arabia again. Probably on October 31st. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Halloween days. Me dressing up in my Halloween costume, just to tune in on the W Network to watch Crown Jewel with for a country that I don't even care. I don't even care about. And I know, and I talked about this before when it pertains to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I know my reasons why I don't care about this country. So it's not a hero there, but I was saying to myself, wait a minute, they're not gonna have a match, because the Prince wants to see Hogan versus Flair. No, instead, I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted, but WWE basically told him no because obviously they're too old. Ric Flair had 2 heart attacks. Hulk Hogan has several back surgeries. These 2 guys can't be wrestling anymore, and I don't want to see them wrestle anymore. What is left to prove for Hogan and Flair of wrestling? What's the game? Nothing. But what this is about was it's going to be a 5 versus 5. Basically, Team Hogan versus Team Flair. And basically, a Survivor Series type of match. So I was saying to myself, so Saudi Arabia is going to get Survivor Series before we're going to get Survivor Series, because keep in mind, Survivor Series is always on November. Wow. So Hulk Hogan introduces his team captain for Team Hogan, and it ends up being, of all people, WWE Universal Champion Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins comes out, the whole burn it down thing, and then the power starts going off for Seth Rollins because burn it down. I thought it was pretty cool. So Seth Rollins comes out for Hogan to be team captain, but he doesn't come out there to save Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominic, for getting beat up by Brock Lesnar. Really? This is what I mean. He's worse. He's worse champion in history. And on top of that, he was so cringy in this segment where he's doing Hulk Hogan impressionations of, well, let me tell you something, brother, and what you're gonna do, brother. I'm like, stop it, Seth. I didn't like you when you were doing the whole, we got 2 words for you, what pertains to the Raw Reunion DX stick thing. And I didn't like you doing this Hulkamania thing either. So cringy. And then Ric Flair's going to announce his team captain for Team Flair. But they didn't let him announce it because all of a sudden we hear Randy Orton's music hits. I said, so wait a minute, you couldn't wait for Ric Flair to say his name first? Like, you freaking idiots. I mean, it's bad enough you messed up his title when it says 17-time world champion, but you messed up your Ric Flair where he didn't get to say his name first. Made Ric Flair look like an idiot there. But luckily for Ric Flair, he's a pro. As soon as he heard that music, he's like, yeah, there he is, yeah. It was funny. I thought that was funny. So Randy Orton says, Seth Rollins got corn up on Hogan's ass and blah blah blah. Like, thank you, Randy Orton. Randy Orton doesn't give a fuck. He'll call out Seth Rollins of him, being a kiss ass. So Randy Orton basically challenged Seth Rollins to a captain versus captain match, and then Seth Rollins like, that's what I'm talking about. You stepping up and blah blah blah, and I'll defend my Universal title against you, blah blah blah, like whatever. So the match happens between Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, but it never got in the way because all of a sudden King Corbin shows up. And then all of a sudden this led to Orton beating up on Rollins. Rollins get his flying back, and then Corbin gets in there. And basically we get a double team between Orton and Corbin on Rollins. And I say stuff. Yeah, beat his ass. And then all of a sudden Rusev comes out. And I say to myself, remember, Rusev's coming out. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna help Seth Rollins, or is he gonna help Corbin and Orton to beat him up? Because keep in mind, when Rusev came back, because Maria Kanellis introduced him being the father, which I'll get to more of that later. He's a heel in a way, and he attacked Mike Kanellis, basically making Mike Kanellis look like an idiot and look bad. And then a week later, Rusev wrestled some babyface I think it was Kalisto, if I'm not mistaken, and he won. Obviously, Rusev won. Still a heel. And on that same Raw, they didn't even mention anything about Rusev, and Maria Kanellis, the whole type of thing. And if they did, I probably didn't care, to know of it, what pertains to commentaries, but what pertains to the storyline overall, no mention of that. It's like they completely dropped it. But again, I'll get to more of that later. Basically, spoiler, what pertains to Maria Kanellis. So Rusev comes out, and he helps out Seth Rollins. So same as the women. So he came back as a heel, and now all of a sudden he's a babyface because he helped out Seth Rollins, because we all know Seth Rollins is a babyface. So and it's confirmed that Rusev is part of Team Hogan, and also with King Corbin, Team Flair. So Hogan on the stage with Jimmy Hart, also with Rollins and Rusev and Rollins is doing their pose with Hogan and everything. And I say to myself, Rusev, I didn't mind. Rollins, cringy. My cringe sense kept on tickling. Cringe. Because he's cringy. Cringe Rollins. But Seth Rollins, he loves this because everything that Vince McMahon gives to him, because Seth Rollins is going to put over because it's such good shit. By the way, we retains the whole thing with Dominic and Mysterio, the whole situation with Brock Lesnar did. Brock Lesnar has now left the building because the story here was that the policemen were called, and they're investigating this whole thing with what Brock Lesnar did, what pertains to his actions, of what he did to Dominic, who was just there as a fan, and we'll get to more of that later. Trick Russo stops Rusev, congratulates Rusev for stepping up and blah blah blah, and says what happened with Lana. And Rusev didn't want to talk about it that much, but he basically wants to talk about how he came out to help Seth Rollins, and now Seth Rollins owes him, and what he wants in return is to challenge him for the Universal Championship title in the main event, and we'll get to that later. We get Akam and Razor of AOP doing another sit-down interview, where it pertains to them being with their suits and everything, and they're talking about violence and all that, and they're talking in their foreign language and all that. So this could be a repackage of them, where it pertains to them being more vicious, more dangerous, and more threatening in an attacking division than ever. And we'll see how that plays out. As we get to the War Viking rating experience of Avar and Eric. Well, the Viking Raiders, Avar and Eric versus the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Match itself I thought was good. The problem is the crowd didn't even care. They didn't even react to it. And in the end, the Viking Raiders wins the match, basically burying the OC. And this is what happened when the OC decided to sign another 5-year deal contract. Well, to sign a 5-year deal contract with WWE. And then they give them a nice role being Raw Tag Team Champions, just to be what's it called, a transitional Raw Tag Team Champions. Just drop it to, who they drop it to? Oh yeah, to Rollins and Strowman, who ends up not being the transitional champions for the tag team division, just to give it to Rude and Ziggler. So basically, the OC signed a contract. Thought they was gonna get a big push because of the OC, the faction of the OC, and then this is where they're at right now, jobbing again. Congrats, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. Congrats. I'm glad you decided to stay in WWE instead of going to AEW. Congrats. You get what you deserve. Alright, so Trey Caruso talks about Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominic with the whole situation to Paul Heyman. Basically, the investigation was over. So, basically, Paul Heyman... Oh, I'm sorry. At this time, the investigation was still going on. Trey Caruso doesn't talk to Paul Heyman until later on. So, this is actually another segment here where Trick Cruz will talk about this whole thing what happened with Mysterio and Dominic by the hands of Brock Lesnar. All of a sudden, Cesaro shows up and says, "Who cares?" Like he said, if he was in that position, he would have done the same thing too. So Ricochet steps up and says, basically stands up for Mysterio Jr. and for his son Dominic and says, "How about you meet me in the ring? And have a match." And Cesaro, obviously, he was not, just to compete. So Ricochet was out there as Cesaro was, as he's waiting for Cesaro. All of a sudden, Cesaro comes out there, in skinny jeans, shoes. Basically, he wasn't really, prepared. So the match happens. Matches up was, even though it was kind of short, but it was good. Based on what they did here, Cesaro was good. Ricochet was good, especially the finish, where Ricochet did a springboard into a front flip, and then turns it into a West Coast pop. Shades of Rey Mysterio Jr. in honor, tribute to Rey Mysterio Jr. Pay homage to Rey Mysterio Jr. and gets the win. So yeah, Ricochet got the win over Cesaro. So yeah, no 50-50 booking for this one because Cesaro and Ricochet had a match before. Ricochet went over at the time, and here we go again, where Ricochet goes over again. All right, now we get to. We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that will never ever end. That's right, it's time for the Firefly Funhouse. Yowie wowie! So Bray Wyatt and his puppet friends, obviously, Abby the Witch, Huskus the Pig Boy, Mercy the Buzzer, and my favorite,
Hey, what's up, dudes and duets? It's your pal, Rambling Rabbit.
So they show the puppets, right? Abby the Witch was scared. She was crying. Huskus the Pig was scared that he didn't eat this cake that was in front of him. Mercy was so scared that he was mumbling whatever. And then Rambling Rabbit was so scared that he died. Basically, he was scared to death. So then Bray Wyatt shows up and says, "Oh no, Rambling Rabbit, you okay?" And then he's like, "Oh no, he's gone." And he's like, "Oh well, comes some more out." And I say to myself, "Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back." I was like, "He'll be back next week. He'll be back next. He'll be back next week." Because Rambling Rabbit has died 3 times already, and he always comes back. So he'll be back. So, basically, why were the puppets so scared? The puppets were scared because all of them. All the puppets were scared because they were scared for what the Fiend's gonna do to Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell. And Bray Wyatt admits that he's also scared of what the Fiend's gonna do to Seth Rollins too, or just them being locked in Hell in a Cell. And said that he's gonna talk to the Fiend to be nice to Seth Rollins, and then he goes off and he runs back and he's like, "Just kidding." And then he tells everyone, "Let me in." And he says, "Bye." And that was it. And that was it for the Firefly Funhouse show. And I thought it was funny. Just to Bray Wyatt doing this and all that, and it was also a good segment of the Firefly Funhouse. Next we get to the WWE United States Championship match. The WWE United States Champion AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander, and this match was good. I believe this match really got Cedric Alexander over. Rotates to the fans really want to see him to win this match. Fortunately, it never happened because AJ Styles ends up hitting him with the Styles Clash and gets the win. So yeah, AJ Styles looked still United States Champion, but also retains to Cedric Alexander in defeat, but still over with these fans. And hopefully that will continue to as it keeps going, but we'll see how that turns out. Because usually WWE will just drop the push of Cedric Alexander because that's how this man does things. We get to the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. They reference something about the Fiend, where if you say the Fiend's name 3 times, he'll show up. Basically, Montez Ford told Angelo Dawkins to not say his name 3 times because he'll show up. I didn't get that at all. Like, I mean, the Fiend's it's not Beetlejuice. The Fiend is not, Candyman, whatever. I didn't get that at all. That's basically the gist of it. I didn't get that at all. But they talk about this is I'm sorry. They said they're gonna be facing the Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team Championships, which I already did a review of that. Pertains to them being on USA for the whole 2 hours this time. So yeah, I did a review of that one. So if you can't, check it out. The WWE NXT review, the season premiere on USA Network. Pertains to being there for 2 hours this time. No more 1 hour on USA Network and another hour on the WWE Network. So, but basically they'll plug in that they could be facing Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team Championships, and they're still NXT. And they said, but that's NXT. This is Monday Night Raw, the season premiere, and blah 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 blah. And there you go. It was good though. It was good. And then they ended by saying, "We want the smoke. We want the smoke. We want the smoke." That's gonna be the thing now. We want the smoke. We want the smoke. It was catchy. We get to Natalya versus Lacey Evans, the weakest match I've ever seen on this show, besides Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. And I'm not kidding you, folks. This was terrible. Because the story here was that it was supposed to be about the sharpshooter, where Lacey Evans was is going to be doing the sharpshooter because she did it to Dana Brooke at one time in her match, and then Natalya basically won her match against Lacey Evans before. Basically, it's this whole 50-50 booking they're doing with Lacey Evans and Natalya, where this is the rubber match, and then the whole sharpshooter was going to come to play. Natalya tried to go for the sharpshooter, but Lacey Evans gets out of it, or got to roast, whatever. I'll try to remember how she did it, but it's also she rakes the eye of Natalya, rolls her up, 1, 2, 3. And the sharpshooter never came to play from Lacey Evans. After the match, Lacey Evans goes for the knockout. I'm sorry, the woman's right to Natalya, and that was it. This was an abomination. Terrible. John Cena, this time pertains to plugging. Yeah, John Cena. Basically, WWE showed John Cena at the Ellen DeGeneres show, the Ellen show, where it pertains to John Cena's new partnership with Fit Ops, and I didn't care. Good for the to help the veterans, pertains to that. But at the same time, it's John Cena, it's just John Cena's thing, all where he pertains to doing Make-A-Wish and all that stuff, just to for him to be liked, whatever. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, so it wasn't Tri Caruso. It was actually Sarah Striper. I'm trying to pronounce the last name. It was Sarah Schreiber. Sarah Schreiber. I did not say it. I'm guessing that's how you say her last name. Schreiber. So Sarah Striper, she interviews Paul Heyman after the police did the investigation on Brock Lesnar and all that. Basically, Paul Heyman says, that he is sorry for what happened to Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominic, and he says, but the one who should be blamed for all this is Vince McMahon, because he knows that Brock Lesnar is on fight, is in fight mode, what pertains to him facing WWE Champion Kofi Kingston at Friday Night SmackDown. So the blame goes to Vince McMahon for even scheduling Brock Lesnar to be on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw, and he literally said that season premiere. Because we didn't get enough of that on Raw. Every time we kept hearing season premiere. But there you go. That's basically point on plugging Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston at for the WWE Championship at SmackDown on Fox. And then we get to Troy Caruso. Troy Caruso was with Maria Kanellis backstage. Maria Kanellis basically, Troy Caruso congratulates Maria Kanellis for something. I think about being pregnant, and I see myself. She's been pregnant for what, since the last 2 to 3 months, and you're now congratulating Maria Kanellis? You idiot. And she asked about, the whole thing with Rusev being involved, being the father and everything. And Maria Kanellis basically told Troy Caruso, you idiot, that Rusev's not the father. And I agree about the idiot part with Troy Caruso. Idiot Troy Caruso. Thank you, Maria Kanellis. Because idiot Troy Caruso is going to be her new name. Instead of dumbass Troy Caruso, it's going to be idiot Troy Caruso. Because she is an idiot. But she says Rusev's not the father. And that right there is it's a good way to finally end the stupid storyline where it's Rusev being the father of Maria Kanellis, because it was stupid to begin with anyways to do that. Unbelievable. But that's what WWE wants to do though. They want to do these type of storylines where they think it's such good shit. So Sasha Banks shows up. Yeah, basically Rusev's not the father, and not he should be. It's Mike Kanellis, by the way. Like, if people get into, I don't know how people could even get into this. That's nothing. I don't get how people could even get into this type of storyline. But anyways, as Maria Kanellis starts walking away, because I think that's it for Maria Kanellis. That's it. She's done. She's gonna be off TV because she's gotta take care of what pertains to get ready to give birth pretty soon, whatever. Also, Sasha Banks walks up and says, she got some words for for Becky Lynch. She says that she's not man enough for her, or she's not man enough to be her, and said that she's not man enough for her as well, and says that at Hell in a Cell, no man will win her match. I mean, good delivery by Sasha Banks, but the whole man thing is getting way out of hand at this point. Basically pertains to Becky Lynch. So ridiculous. Alright, following. WWE Universal Championship match. Rusev versus the Universal Champion Seth Rollins. They'll burn it down with the pyro and everything. Oh, by the way, The Miz also had a pyro too, by the way. I should mention this too. The Miz had a pyro which pertains to old school Randy Orton's pyro from 2004. The whole pyro showers down. First, Christian had it too at the time in 2002. And then, again, Randy Orton in 2004. And then with Alberto Del Rio for when he made his debut back in 2010. Yes, 2010. But anyways, and also we got Randy Orton and King Corbin out there. Why? I don't know. There was no point because they didn't do anything. They didn't come to factor to this match. So why were they out there in the first place? I don't know. So stupid. So the match happens. Match itself, it was solid, but I didn't care for the match at all. Oh yeah, and by the way, I should mention this too. Before the match, before we got to this match, basically it was after the Sasha Banks promo. After the Sasha Banks promo, a white limousine showed up. I was thinking to myself, I wonder who could be in the white limousine. So sure enough, here we go. So Rusev is is in the ring. Seth Rollins outside the ring because Rusev was getting the better of Seth Rollins at this point. All of a sudden, we hear the music of Bobby Lashley coming out. So the almighty Bobby Lashley returns in his ring gear. And I say to myself, why are you in ring gear? You wasn't scheduled to wrestle. You didn't wrestle. I hate that type of shit. Why couldn't you just come out wearing like a sweatpants, a tank top, whatever, or a t-shirt of you that says "Oh, the Almighty Bobby Lashley"? Like, seriously, like, you're in your wrestling gear. Why? You didn't wrestle. You're not wrestling. So Bobby Lashley, so Bobby Lashley, he's kept pointing at the Titantron about a few times, and I say to myself, okay, what we're waiting for here? Because the idiots in the back are obviously not getting on the cue from Bobby Lashley. So all of a sudden we hear Lana's music hitting. She comes out and she goes to kiss Bobby Lashley, and Rusev stands there. Bobby Lashley and Lana starts kissing more. Rusev stands there. Bobby Lashley and Lana look like they're getting each other mouth to mouth as they're kissing. Rusev stands there. Bobby Lashley and Lana looking like they're about to do a French kiss with their tongues down their throats. Rusev stands there. And then Bobby Lashley lifts up Lana's leg, high hump drive, driving her, I guess, whatever. Rusev stands there. This went on way too fucking long. And on top of that, I hated it. Making Rusev look like an idiot just standing there while his wife is making out with Bobby Lashley. And I'm saying to myself, this is what you brought Bobby Lashley back for? And this is what you brought Rusev and Lana back for? To do this stupid love triangle because it's such good shit, right, Vince? I wasn't interested back then when they tried this with Dolph Ziggler and Summer Rae with the whole four-way love triangle, and I'm not a fan of it right now with Bobby Lashley involved with this. And on top of that, why did Lana decide to do that to Rusev? Because after it was confirmed by Maria Kanellis that Rusev was really not the father, it was just all for Maria Kanellis to get under Mike Kanellis' skin and to light a fire up his ass. And then we see this. Lana basically getting back at Rusev for something that he never did anything wrong to begin with. He didn't cheat on Lana. He didn't impregnate Maria Kanellis. So why is Lana doing this to Rusev? Why are we supposed to believe that Rusev and Lana are having marital problems? Where this is the solution to solve this storyline. Made no sense. I didn't care for it, and I don't want to care for it. So also, and the light starts going off from different type of sections, because we know who was coming. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, was going to attack Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is all scared. He gets Mandible Claw, and that's how the show ends. Besides the whole thing with the Fiend attacking Seth Rollins to end Raw, the one thing that was part of the ending of Raw was this whole thing with Bobby Lashley, Lana, and Rusev situation, where it was so fucking awkward and so fucking cringy, more cringier than Seth Rollins' cringy ass. And like, wow, this was the show. That was Raw. Garbage. Boring. Other than what they did with Brock Lesnar, with the whole thing with Ray and Dominic Mysterio, the match with Styles and Cedric for the United States title, the tag team match, two tag team matches pertains to the World Tag Team titles, and the other two, tag team match with the Vikings versus the OCs. Other than that, fuck this show. This is one of the main reasons. These are one of the main reasons why I stopped watching Monday Night Raw in the first place. And I don't see it getting any better after the WWE draft too. So, but before let's get to this now. Talking about wrestling for WWE RAW, the show from September 30th, 2019. Seven matches. Wow. Maybe just double check. The Universal title, Lacey Evans versus Natalya, AJ Styles, basically the United States Championship style match. Cesaro, Ricochet, OC versus Vikings. unfortunately, the Raw's and or match never happened. So Raw Tag Team Championships, Banks, Bliss. So yeah, 7 matches. But again, let me just double check again. Triple check. Yeah, 7. And my overall rating for the show for WWE RAW season premiere, right? And the go home show edition for Hell in a Cell. I'm gonna go 4 out of 10. That's all I'll go from there. 4 out of 10. But oh yeah, also the Fiend and the Firefly Funhouse. That's another thing why I enjoy about the show too as well. But other than that, fuck this show. Now before I go, I'm not gonna do a Hell in a Cell preview prediction. We're potentially doing this separate from this video, because instead I'm gonna do it right here, right now, because the card for WWE Hell in a Cell is so poor, so unacceptable, and it is fucking pathetic. So far for what pertains to Raw, and then I'll do the one for SmackDown. Raw Women's Championship inside Hell in a Cell. Sasha Banks versus the champion Becky Lynch. So Sasha Banks has to win. Nothing against Becky Lynch, but that time has run its course with Becky Lynch. Sasha Banks needs to win because Sasha Banks is getting over now. I mean, she's always been over, but she's getting more over now. What pertains to her coming back and everything. She's got the momentum, and run with it. Have her win the belt, and let's see where it goes from there. And then we get to the WWE Universal Championship. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, versus Seth Rollins. No question, no doubt, no arguments, no dispute, no excuses, no exceptions. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, must win that belt. Despite me not loving that belt, not liking that belt, not caring about that belt, because that belt to me is too fucking garbage. But what pertains to the prestige of being Universal Champion, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, must win. If he doesn't win, and Seth Rollins just beats him, and then they call him the Fiend Slayer, not only I'm gonna be pissed off, but that's it. You lost my interest of ever being, investing into anyone in WWE ever again, because at this point, if you do this with Bray Wyatt, you basically kill his momentum once again. With the Fiend character, the whole Firefly Funhouse and all this, he's fine getting some attention, not only in pro wrestling but also outside of pro wrestling. He's getting the attention, and if you do this by having to lose to Seth Rollins, you completely just killed all that. So no questions, no without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, the Fiend must win. And if he doesn't win, I'm coming unglued on that review. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. This was your WWE RAW review from this YouTube, from YouTube, basically, on my YouTube channel. So take care. Until next time, folks. Take care.